Hello and welcome to my manga and bit of anime haul for July of 2022. Yep. And so, I've got like 20 volumes this month along with some DVDs and art books. So let's get into it. Yes! First up I got Mamoru Hoshida's Belle, the new film from Studio Chizu. I like all their films, so of course I had to get this one. Belle is a film about this girl called Suzu who enters into this like virtual world. I think it's the same one as that is in Summer Wars, and she becomes like this world's version of herself, who is Belle. And Belle is a singer, and she kind of becomes very popular, and she meets this beast, and she's trying to find out who this beast is and stuff. It's very good. I do recommend it. So yeah, that's Belle. And the other DVD I picked up is the Canon DVD, which finally got a UK release a couple months back, finally. I really like this Keys series. It's my second favourite after Charlotte. Yeah, Canon is about, I don't remember his name, Yuichi, and he returns to the town where he grew up as an adult. I think is he 18 or 19? He's something like that. He returns as an adult anyway. And he starts to meet all these girls, and apparently some of them know him, but he doesn't remember his past. He doesn't remember the time he spent there as a child. But as he starts to spend time with these girls, his memories do start to come back, and yeah, I do really like Canon. My favourite was probably Faire, the one who has the sword and like fights imaginary demons in the school at night. And next up, since it was my birthday this month, I decided to get myself some art books. And so I have Darling, which is the art book of Meguru Hinohara, the author of Therapy Game and Secret XXX, and along with this series here, which is called Kami-sama no Oroko, I think. It doesn't have an English release, but the art for it looks really good. Yeah, I love Therapy Game. It's one of my favourite BLs. So I decided to pick up this art book when I saw a UK seller had it brand new on eBay. As I say, that most of this artwork is in the back for this series, but I would really like to see this one get an English release. I think it's currently 2 volumes long because the art for it looks very nice. Yeah, I love Therapy Game. And this art book is very nice. And the second art book I picked up was by an author that has never been released in English, so I've never read any of her works before. And this is Nostalgia, original illustrated works by Tsukaji Now from 2001 to 2012. I know there's 3 of these art books. There's one from 2010 to 2012, and there's one from 2012 to 2016, but this is the first one from 2001 to 2010. And I've never read any of her stuff before, but I know she's done one that's called Canon or something like that. That's quite popular. But I just really loved her artwork, so I decided to pick this one up. She's done like some original illustrations as well, for like commissions and stuff. But I would like to try and find the her other 2 art books. This one was got from the same eBay seller as I got the Therapy Game one from. Yeah, I've never read any of her stuff. I just really like this art book. When I saw the pictures of it, like, advertised on eBay, and I don't know what this is. I think it's some sort of receipt. Anyway, that's me art books. Now we're moving on to the main event, which is manga. What? First up, I have Change World Volume 2. This is the final volume. in this installment we do have Love Nest coming out soon, which is a spin-off. I haven't read this one yet. I've only read about half of the volumes in the stack so far. The Changeboard isn't one that I've read yet, but this is a BL about two guys who used to play baseball in high school together, and then they meet up again as adults when he starts tutoring his sister for college. Yeah, this is the sequel to Sayonara Game. And yeah, that's Change World. Next I have one that I cannot open. Fire in His Fingertips, 30 Fireman Rashes and With His Smouldering Gaze, Volume 4. This is just pure smut. There's not that... Well, there's a slight story starting in the previous volume. I think it will probably continue into this one. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, this is just fireman smut. If you're into fireman smut, I would highly recommend it. Next up I have Volume 5 of Tale of the Outcasts. Again, I haven't read this one yet, but this is a fantasy series that takes place in the British Empire during some sort of time period. I'm terrible with history. I don't think it's Victorian though. I really don't. But yeah, it takes place in the UK during a past time period that is not modern world. And it follows Wisteria, who is an orphan girl, and Marbus, who is a demon, and they make a contract and decide to travel the world together to find a place where they belong. This is Wisteria here, and Marbus. This is her brother, and I don't remember who that is. So yeah, I do enjoy the series, I just haven't got around to reading this volume yet. I think it's completed 9 volumes though, so it's not too long of a series. It's a bit Ancient Magus Bride-y, but more different. Next up I have Puppy Love, which is a one-shot BL by Tokyo Pop. I'm yet to read this one as well, but I don't think this one's explicit. I think I can open this. But this is about, I'm pretty sure, as a guy, and he saved a puppy once when he was a kid, and then later on he starts working in a pet shop and meets with the reincarnation of this puppy, who's now a guy who fancies him, or something like that. I say I haven't read it, but I think that's the description for this one. It sounded interesting. I like dogs. There's this Pomeranian who reminds me of the Matthew's dog from Given. I can't remember his name, but he looks a bit like him. Kendama. Was it Kendama? Was that his name? And then I have read this one. This is Overkill Volume 8. I really enjoy Overkill. It's a great series. It's like a hitman action josei with action. And we have Chateau, who's a contract killer, and then what's his name again? Rian Ha-song, who is I think he more works for himself, but I think he does contract killing as well. And like he's constantly killing her targets, and then they kind of get involved with each other, and then there's a mystery and stuff. It's really good. Next up I have Volume 2 of Imacroi. This is a very nice new shoujo by the author of Wolfgang and Black Prince. I'm really enjoying this one. It's about a girl who she's saved on the train by him, and then she wants to find him again to thank him, and then it turns out he goes to her school, and then they start dating each other. And yeah, I do enjoy this one. Next we have 36 of Yona of the Dawn. It's Yona. It's volume 36, I don't really think I need to explain much. But yeah, Yona continues to be excellent, and I think we're catching up to Japan now. I think we're like only 3 or 4 volumes behind. So that's going to be good. Next I have volume 6 of Prince Faire. This one's a slow release, but this is a European style fantasy series about a girl called Faire who was raised in a village. I think she's an orphan and she lived in this village with her two friends, Alexei and Aaron. And one day she learns that the prince has been poisoned, and she resembles the prince quite a lot, so now she has to pretend to be the prince and like rule the kingdom and like find allies to like fight against this other kingdom who's like suppressing everyone. And you know, I do enjoy this one, although I do not like Julius. I like Freya as a character and I like Alexei, but I do not like Julius. I do like the series though, so I will be continuing it. And I'm interested to know what happens in the next volume after this one ended. 19 of Snow White with the Red Hair. I haven't read this one yet. We have Kiki on the cover. I'm pretty sure, was it Obi? No, Obi's on 22. I don't know who's on the cover of the next one. But yeah, this is continuing, like, no, the arc with the twins ended in the last volume. This one's now Zen's kind of going to really ass with them for a bit. I haven't read this one yet. No, you haven't. Volume 5 of Mal by Rumiko Takahashi. It's her new series. It's kind of a bit like if you crossed the time travel isekai-ness of Inuyasha with the horror sort of mystery aspects of Mermaid Saga. But yeah, this is very good. It's about Mal, who is an immortal who was cursed by a demon called Byoki. Was it Byoki? I think so. And then we have, here it is, Byoki. And then we have this girl called Nanika. What's her name? Nanika. Yes. Who goes back in time by walking through the shopping district and finds herself in Mal's time, where they're now hunting Byoki and trying to find out about what happened back then. Yeah, if you enjoyed Rumiko Takahashi stuff before, I do highly recommend this one. Next we have Origami, volume 24, another slow release. I even get to read this one as well. But yeah, it's Origami. I love the art, the covers for Origami, and the inside art too is very good. But yeah, we're continuing the story of what's been going on. Yeah, I do very like Origami. Next up, I have read this one. This is Vampire Dormitory Volume 5. This is like a trashy vampire, smart story where we have Mito, who is a girl who's pretending to be a boy, who ends up living with this vampire who's a bit of an otaku Ruka in his dorm room, and he thinks that Mito's a boy. And he's looking for his destined partner so he can then rule the vampires, and Mito starts liking him. It is quite trashy, but sometimes trash can be fun, and I do enjoy reading this series. And the art's pretty too. Next, I have Lovesick Evie. I'm rereading this one tomorrow. And Lovesick Evie is one of my favourite ongoing shoujos right now. Well, it's ongoing in print, it's finished in digital. It's about a girl called Eri who has this Twitter account where she posts fantasies about Ome, who is the popular boy in school, because she's quite forgettable and her classmates keep forgetting her name and stuff. So she posts some fantasies on Twitter about him, and she can be a little bit perverted about it. Anyway, he turns out to not be the popular boy she thinks he's actually quite different and not who she thought he was. And anyway, he finds out about her Twitter account and he's perfectly fine with it, and they start to go closer as well, and it's very good. I really love this one, and Eri's just a fantastic main character. Next up I have Sensei's Pious Eye Volume 2. I'm yet to read this one. This story is quite dark and it's about rape and emotional abuse and physical abuse and non-consensual stuff. So if any of those things trigger you, you should probably stay away from this one. This is definitely an adult series, but I like dark, messed up stuff, so I do enjoy reading this one. And I will be continuing it. As I say, I haven't read this one yet, but I have read the first omnibus. So yeah, if you're okay with all like the stuff that goes on in this and it won't trigger you, then give it a go. It is very good. It goes into like the way like women are treated and stuff, and it's very good. Anyway, the story is we have this teacher. She is 24. Is she 24? She's 24. And she is being sexually assaulted and abused and raped by her fiance's best friend. Her best friend's fiance. And he's like manipulating her, saying you can't tell anyone because that'll make you lose your job, and I'll make sure that your best friend's on my side, so you'll lose her as well. So he's being a manipulative arsehole. This guy is like horrid. Anyway, there's also this student in the school as well who's been involved with some stuff. As I say, I would recommend it with trigger warnings. Next up I have Alpine, Beauty and the Beast. This is a new steamship imprint by Seven Seas. I'm yet to read this, but I know it's about a girl who gets transported to a world full of beastmen, and she has to breed with them to repopulate the world, which I don't know how that would work, because within a couple of generations everyone would be related to each other and they would start to be malformed due to interbreeding. But anyway, she has to breed with these beastmen and she has to have their children. But she's quite shy and she has a phobia of boys. It's smart. I don't expect it to have a story. But yeah, I will be reading this one at some point. The art looks nice. Next up I have Perfect World Volume 11. I read this today. I'm really enjoying these last few volumes of Perfect World. And I know the final one is out, but I don't have it yet. And I'm looking forward to reading it, but this has been a very good series and I've been very enjoying these last few volumes a lot. Next up I have one of my favourite Joseis, Something's Wrong With Us Volume 9. I love this series, it's fantastic, the drama is awesome. And now I just need the next one because of the way this one ended. As always with this series always has a cliffhanger at the end that makes me need the next volume, and I don't even know when the next volume's out. But if you're not reading this and you like drama, mystery, stuff going on, sweet making, I would highly recommend it. Next I have the final volume of Watercolor Love is Hard for a Taco. This is a great series, I love it so much, and I really like the final volume too. This is the only cover we got in the UK, which is fine by me because this was actually the cover I would have chosen anyway. Yeah, it's Watercolor. It's ended. It was very good. I do like me some Watercolor. Next up, I have Why Is That Upside Down? I have another one of my favourite ongoing shoujos, A Sign of Affection by Sumo Ishita, which is a duo who wrote Shortcake Cake, and A Sign of Affection is very good. It's very sweet. It's about a deaf girl who meets this guy on a train after she's approached by a foreigner and she can't hear what they're saying. She also can't read their lips because she can't understand their language, and then he helps her out, and he's like well travelled, he speaks several languages, and he kind of becomes interested in her and sign language and stuff, and it's really good. Again, it's one of my favourites at the minute. And last up in this haul for this month, I have a light novel, but Wait for Me Yesterday in Spring. This is the same author as The Tunnel to Summer. This one sounds very good. It's about a guy, and he goes back to... He's in high school, and he lives on a small island, but he leaves to go to school elsewhere, but then he returns, and he meets back up with his childhood friend and her older brother, but then something happens, and he wakes up like 6 days later, and the older brother is dead, and now he has to find out what happened by using this power. He has to relive those 6 days in reverse to find out what happened to the brother. So he obviously goes from day 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 and lives time in reverse until he gets back to the day that he arrived there, in order to find out what happened and how her brother got killed. And this one sounded really good. And it's just a one-off too. And I'm really looking forward to reading it when I get around to it, because with light novels it can take me a while. Anyway, and that is it for my haul of July, and I will see you for another video when I do one. And goodbye for now. Goodbye.